Hello, math friends. Welcome back. Today's lesson is lesson 4.6.5, writing equations in slope-intercept form. Please write both of those things at the top of the page in your math notebook. All right, slope-intercept form. I love slope-intercept form. It's my favorite. So things to remember, right? We need to remember that y equals mx plus b. That is the slope-intercept form of a linear equation. So make sure you write that down and that down. Slope-intercept form. And it's linear. That means it produces a straight line. So in the slope-intercept form of a linear equation, m is the slope. Why is slope m? Because it describes how the line moves. It describes how much it goes up compared to how much it goes over or down and over. All right, so m is the slope, describes the steepness of the line. B is the y-intercept. So the b is the y-intercept. It describes where the graph crosses the y-axis. Okay, when it crosses the y-axis, remember when you're looking at a graph, the up-down is the y-axis. This one is the x-axis. So where your line crosses the y-axis, that is your b. And it could be positive, could be negative. Your slope can be positive, can also be negative. All right, so now, not all linear equations will be written in slope-intercept form at first. But you can change that. We can rearrange equations so they are in slope-intercept form. And let's take a look at some of those. First of all, let's look at this one here. Now this one is actually in slope-intercept form. It just doesn't look like it because it appears that there's no slope. There's no m, right? So what we have to do is remember that this negative x, when you have an x all by itself or any variable by itself, you have to remember that the coefficient is 1. The number that's with it is 1. So this technically would be y equals -1, x plus 2. So this has a slope then. The slope is -1. So that means that it goes down 1 and to the right 1, down and to the right. And the y-intercept, the b, is 2. That means it crosses the y-axis at 2. All right, now that one was pretty easy. We didn't have to change much at all. This next one, y equals x plus 3 over 2. All right, let's take a minute and rearrange this one so it is in slope-intercept form. Because this equation has, the y is already on the left-hand side where it needs to be, but because this equation has the x plus 3 over 2, you have to remember something. That any time that you are dividing a quantity like x plus 3 over 2, what you're actually doing is you have to divide each term by that 2. So this would become y equals x over 2 plus 3 over 2. Okay? Now, also what you have to remember is that x over 2 is the same thing as 1/2 times x. So this would actually be y equals 1/2 multiplied by x plus 3 over 2. Now why is that the case? Why is this the same as this? Well, if you think about it, if I multiply, change colors over here, if I multiply 1/2 times x, I am multiplying a fraction times a whole thing, so I put a 1 under that. Now if I multiply straight across, I get 1 times x is x, and 2 times 1 is 2, x over 2. So you see, those are the same thing. But we write it in slope-intercept form as 1/2 x. Now, 3 over 2, of course, is the same thing as 1.5. So, you could say that this line crosses, it has a slope of 1/2. That means it goes up 1 and over 2. Up 1 and 2 to the right, plus 3/2 is the same thing as 1.5, so it crosses the y-axis at 1.5 on the y-axis. All right, let's take a look at yet another one. Now notice this, y equals -4. Y equals -4. Well, there's no slope. And you're absolutely right, because this is technically, because there is no slope, that would be 0 times x minus 4. Because what is 0 times x? Well, it's just 0, right? So that would be, y equals 0 minus 4, which would be just y equals -4, which is where we started. Now, what does that mean? Well, it means it has a slope of 0. The slope is 0, so that means that it is a horizontal line. It has 0 slope. And where does it cross the y-axis? Well, it crosses the y-axis at -4. So, we have a horizontal line that crosses the y-axis at -4. Easy peasy. But if you want the thing to be in technical slope-intercept form, this is your guy right here. All right, let's look at the next one. Now this one requires more work than the other one. So let's look. 3x plus y equals 2. All right, well, we want to make sure we get y all by itself on the left-hand side, so I have to subtract 3x from both sides of this equation. Those two, of course, will cancel each other out, and now I have y equals 2 minus 3x. But here's the thing, that's not slope-intercept form yet, so let's rearrange the terms on the right-hand side. I'm going to put that negative 3x in front, and that's a positive 2, so I put plus 2. There you go, slope-intercept form. That means it has a slope of -3, so that means it goes 3 down and to the right 1. And that has the y-intercept of 2, that means it crosses the y-axis at +2. That's where the line begins, at the y-axis. One more here for us. 2x plus 4y equals 16. Again, let's get the y term by itself on one side. So first things first, subtract the 2x from both sides. Those cancel out, and I get 4y equals -2x plus 16. All right, now one more thing. We want to get rid of that 4 times y, so we have to divide by 4. That means we divide everything by 4 on the other side. Every term gets divided by 4. So those cancel out there, and now we have y equals, now -2 divided by 4 is -1/2 x. All I did was simplify that fraction, and 16 divided by 4 is 4. Y equals -1/2 x divided by 4. So that means that the slope is -1/2. That means it goes down 1 and to the right 2, and the y-intercept is 4. All right, now a quick word about parallel lines. Parallel lines are on the same plane, and they do not intersect ever. They run the same distance apart all the time. So that means that they have the same slope. So if this slope here, if this line has a slope of -1, that means that this line also has the slope of -1. Right? Okay, so parallel lines always have the same slope, but they might cross the y-axis at different places. You can see the b for this one is -1, and it appears the b for this one might be -3. Okay, so same slope, different y-intercepts, parallel lines. Important stuff to remember, important point to consider. All right, that's it, folks. Let's take a look at today's practice work. All right, lesson 4.6.5. You can copy this down in your math notebook, or you can go back to the slide where you found this video, click on the link there, and it'll bring that up. All right, have a great day. Don't forget to be awesome, and we'll see you next time.